bug in the game. It's the Chalkzone, baby, no two rounds the same. We got pixels, polygons, mayhem galore. TJ's on the sticks and he's kicking down doors. Oh, the Chalkzone. Oh, the Chalkzone.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Giving it all. Hey. Yeah. I'm giving it all I could give. Run up and taking my pick. Then bringing it back to the crib. Yeah. You know how I go. We finding the gold, the deeper we dig. So we just keep digging till we finally get it. Like fuck it, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Yeah. I gave you my word, don't break it for no one. You know I'ma keep what I said. Ready for war, I've been deep in the trance. Been jumping since I had them squeaks in the bed. Ice in my body, I'm cold under pressure. Recovered like I had no heat in the vents. Shooting, I don't have a conscience, too much to accomplish. You know I can't leave it to chance. Yeah, throw it in the bag. Throw some dots, I'm Jackson Dart. I'm out of pocket playing tag. Catch me if you can, empty out the mag. Took the lead, I run the track, and I'm never looking back. Going for the moment, always rolling with the punches. Find a way to see through the ceiling, put above us. Smoke is in the air, keep it heavy in abundance. When the dust settles, let's see who remains. Show up for the moment, always rolling with the punches. Find a way to see through the ceiling, put above us. Smoke is in the air, keep it heavy in abundance. When the dust settles, will you be the same? 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 When the dust settles, let's see who remains. I'm giving it all I could give. Run up and taking my pick. Then bringing it back to the crib. Yeah. You know how I go, we finding the gold, the deeper we dig. So we just keep digging till we finally get it. Like fuck it, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I keep those around me I trust. Only the family, not much to discuss. Ashes to ashes, we brush off the dust. Fuck what they say, get the fuck on my nuts. They me the villain, fuck it, I'm the villain. I'm waiting at dusk, a bag in the trunk. Cover my face like I'm hush, you know they not fucking with us. Show up for the moment, always rolling with the punches. Find a way to see through the ceiling, put above us. Smoke is in the air, keep it heavy in abundance. When the dust settles, let's see who remains. Show up for the moment, always rolling with the punches. Find a way to see through the ceiling, put above us. Smoke is in the air, keep it heavy in abundance. When the dust settles, will you be the same?
Hello and welcome, everyone. Week 8 is done. The AGL regular season has completed. We are about to head into the playoffs. Welcome to the Chalkzone. I, as always, am your host, TJChalkboard, coming to you live from the basement of the Legion of Doom headquarters right here in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. And along with me tonight, I got NUCKS and I got EAGLEEE. Boys, what a fucking end to the season that we had. Eagle, man, how does it feel to be on a little bit of a better team?
Yeah, it's a different pace. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Straw Hats. What's up, AGL? Text my boy. He did all he could. It's just, sometimes you look good on paper and you have a couple weaknesses. And if things don't work out or guys don't gel, you just don't get the W's you need. So Tech did what he had to do, ran the ship as far as he could, and had a respectable year. But they just didn't have the roster to get it done. So it's nice being on what was a great team, which, we had an owner kind of rage out and leave and lose two D-men in about 20 minutes. So that was rough. But luckily, such a good league, man. We had Mike one step in, and he's a solid D-man. Great dude, buddy of mine. So I think we're going to be just fine. We went out, picked up bangs. So the roster looks good. The boys, I mean, listen, if you're not winning 3 games a night, they're disappointed. So far, we're pretty much 3-1 every night. And it's been a totally different atmosphere, but it's been a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And NUCKS, obviously a solid season, solid end to the season for you guys.
Yeah, we unfortunately on the Monday, our second line had a rough week, going 1-2-1. Had they ended up getting one more win, we would actually stayed at second. It happens, but we have a good matchup going into the first round. Starting tomorrow, and I'm gonna say good luck to you, Eags. I'm happy that you're on a better team what you were drafted by, and I hope you do well in the
Good luck,
playoffs,
brother.
just as
Appreciate
myself.
it. Should be a lot of fun. I mean, listen, we're gonna get into the matchups, and
Yeah.
there's no weak matchups. Like
No.
even if you're looking like we won the President's Trophy first place. If you're looking at the team we're playing in the first round as an 8 seed, it's the Kraken, who's been in the finals the last couple of years. They've won one. Like they are not an 8 seed. That just
No.
shows you how deep this league is. I mean, they spanked us last week alone. I mean, lines were a little different, but just to show you, like a 1 versus 8 is not a layup by any stretch of the imagination. Like the betting odds are pretty close to even, I would say, so it's going to be tough, and there's going to be a lot of tough matchups. So I'm excited to get into it.
No, absolutely. And obviously, we don't know all the matchups yet 100%. Still, obviously, a couple of questions that are outlying there. As we're speaking, the boys are just getting ready to jump into those play-in rounds. It's the Raging Bulls and the Ice Cartel and the Almost Somebodies versus the Apaches. So we will find out about that soon. We will know by tomorrow. And yes, I will be streaming playoff games both tomorrow and Tuesday. We're going to be doing a multi-stream, so we'll be paying attention to all of you guys, Q and C League as well. So make sure that you're tuning in for that to see how the boys are doing. Let's go to this.
You're going to need those high-tech glasses, TJ. You're staring at that screen a lot lately, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate the work you're doing, and you're grinding, man. It's definitely a full-time gig every night getting on here. So I'm going to actually DM me your address. I'm going to send you those fancy, like, blue tinted glasses. Or
yeah.
I'm looking out for you.
I'm going to need some of those blue screen glasses for sure at some point. Yeah. Need NUCKS on cam. Do you though, Devin? Do you, Devin? Do you really?
I'm not so sure about
Hey,
that.
see, NUCKS, you got a fan, buddy. See?
Yeah, I just don't have, at least I don't have an egghead.
I was wondering if that was going to come up, but here we go. We're already there.
I'm offended, man. I am so offended.
Hey, you can thank Finch for that. Finch started it. Now it's just going to continue.
There we go.
Small insults.
Hey, you can see my PFP. I look like that, Devin. You can grind on me for that.
Coda Chota with the follow. Thank you very much. Well, who do we got? We got Devin Nim, Bradley Force, Viper Fang, Tough Guy, TTV. What's going on, buddy? In the chat, Red Daddy. Thank you all very much. So really quickly taking a look at the final standings for the Q League. Prestige Worldwide ends up finishing right at the very top. Absolutely fantastic there. Thank you very much for the bits. That was I did not see who that was. I apologize. I missed that.
Looks like the Nim.
Oh, the Nim with the bits. Thank you very much, buddy.
Appreciate it. Let's go, Nimmy.
Let's go. Legion of Doom finishing in second, Goonie Tunes in third, followed by the Silverbacks in fourth, Muppet Slayers, Glitter Trotters, Ice Cartel, Apaches, and Almost Somebodies. Now, like it was stated, right? This is where it does get interesting because you got the Apaches, Almost Somebodies, Raging Bulls,
Yeah, you're right. With the Ice Cartel and the plan, 7 through 10.
Yeah, 7 through 10. So, yeah, Ice Cartel, Apaches, Almost Somebodies, and Raging Bulls. So those are your playing games. Those will be happening very, very soon. Rounding out the bottom, it's the Black Mambas, Guerrilla Warfare, Cluster Puck, Scaffold Dead, Wild Chiefs, Outlaws. Nightfall ended up finishing ahead of Moose. I'm happy about that. I'll tell you, the last night, all that I was looking for, boys, was just hits and fights.
Nothing wrong with that.
And you know what? I got a bone to pick with Slotty because, I messaged Slotty before the start of the game, and I was like, you got to give me a fucking Tilly. I want one more Tilly. And I would have had the sin bin for this week if he had given me that fight, but he never did. He bitched out. That's right, Slotty. I'm calling you out.
Huge bitch, Slotty. I mean, I've been telling him for years. And I will tell you, this is just another nod to how competitive this league is. I don't know if everyone was paying attention, but the play-ins, you have team 11, the Mambas, the Warfare, the Cluster Pucks, this was so close. There was a point where I was following my brother's team, Graves, and they thought they were in. For a certain, for a 2 to 6 hour period, they were in. Above, I believe it was the Somebodies and the Raging Bulls, and this came down to tiebreakers upon tiebreakers upon tiebreakers. They had a big hill to climb, ended up doing a great job, going 3-1, getting all the points they needed. Almost Somebodies threw this week in the absolute garbage. They were 7 up going in, and they barely made it on a tiebreaker. So this was super close, super competitive.
Yeah.
That's what you love to see, things coming down to the last game of the year. And it's unfortunate for those other teams that just missed, but the teams that made it, like, make the most of your opportunity here. Go out there and win those games tonight, get in, and once you're in, anything could happen. We've seen it before in the upper division, the lower division. Like, you don't have to be a 1, 2, or 3 seed to win this thing.
No.
It's not, I think the Panthers, they won they won last year, and they were a playing team. So
Exactly.
They were a play-in.
get
And,
hot,
with,
win your games, and you got a shot.
Well, that's just
with
it,
the
right?
Mambas.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
So with the Mambas, they ended up they had an overtime loss last week.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why they're not in the play-in. If they ended up winning that game, they jumped the Bulls by points, and that doesn't come down to a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So how competitive the QL was this season, it just shows the adaptability of owners making smart trades to be able to put their team over the top, but it also shows there is no skill gap or anything anymore in either league.
No.
The people that are coming in are really making it a lot more competitive, and I hope to see a lot of tight games and a really tight series going for these boys in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And the final thing that I'll state is two things here. Number one, this worked out for me because I was going to keep it as a surprise for tomorrow, but I'll let you all know now. Joining me for the games over the next few weeks, as we go through the playoffs, Graves is going to be joining me. Graves is going to be my co-host throughout the playoffs. Yeah, me and him, we spoke about it. So I'm looking forward to having him in the seat beside me. Definitely looking forward to that. But to me, I think the biggest story here, as we're going to move on to the C League in just a second here, but the Ice Cartel and the Apaches. I've spoken about these guys week after week and the start of the season. So for the Ice Cartel, you had them as the Coyotes. They go, a massive management shift. They rebrand and look at where they are. They were they and the Apaches were at the bottom of the league the first couple of weeks. Look at where they finish. Right, these guys are now in play-ins to make the playoffs. Like, such great stories, and it only happens here in the AGL, man. Like, just absolutely fantastic. You're never out until you're out, and these guys have proved that. Great job by Slotty and Poseidon over there. 100%.
Yeah, good job. I mean, they went through their turmoil. They had obviously an overhaul at the management point, and I do think that there's some top-heavy teams here. I think Prestige Worldwide. I've had the pleasure of playing with some of those guys and watching some of their games. Like, they're going to be a really tough task for anyone to knock them off.
Yes.
Same thing with Legion of Doom. They're pretty good. They're composed. They play a high level of hockey. So I think those two teams, they're sitting 1 and 2 for a reason, and they are most definitely the favorites going into the playoffs. And I hate to I hate to just take the chalk, no pun intended, here on the Chalkzone, but I really think it's prestigious to lose. I mean, they just look like a different animal out there. And they play such a physical game. Like, I was watching one of their games, and I could have swore it was like a pub game because the amount of hits they were throwing around, like, I would have thought, like, okay, this guy's got truck on, this guy's got truck on. Like, it was just a physical game, and there was just no room for anyone to breathe out there. So I'm looking forward to see how it shakes out, but they got to get my early nod for sure.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And the one thing that I'm actually hoping for throughout the Q League playoffs is a matchup between Legion of Doom and Goonie Tunes. I would really like to see that in a series. I think that could be a lot of fun. Those two groups getting together. As we take a look at the C League standings, Army of 6. Again, not really any changes here. We thought there might be a slip with the the Kraken and the Dusters, but no. So it's Army of 6, the Hawks, Panthers, and Thunder make 1 through 4. Kings, Jurassic Puck, Legends, and Dusters rounding out the top 8. Kraken falling just short, along with the Mavericks, Trash Pandas, Straw Hats, Reapers, and Violent Gentlemen making out the bottom.
Are you sure that's right?
This is not correct. No.
Yeah, because we're playing the Kraken in round 1. So if they're gone, God bless. I'm fine with it. Don't get me wrong. I am totally fine with it. But the Legends are not in. Yeah,
it might have been the week before.
So the Legends, the Legends are actually out, and the Dusters are 7. Yeah. Kraken is 8.
You're
Everything
right.
Else is correct.
From 1 to 6 is correct. 7 is Dusters. 8 is Seattle. And then, just to throw this out here, the Reapers.
Pretty much what I just said, right?
Yeah, the Reapers
Just want to make sure.
are now 9th.
dude. So wait, did nothing change? They didn't change these. They
No, I
did.
never updated fully,
So-
But
so-
the Legends ended up having a lot of ECUs last week, and they just didn't make it.
All right,
the
guys.
Panthers are 2 also. The Panthers are 2 also. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Panthers did move up to second. Yeah, so guys, I apologize profusely. Obviously, that one wasn't changed. Everything else, it looks like, was. That one wasn't. So I apologize here. We'll quickly move to the players of the week for the Q League. Feeney Call getting the nod at center, 26 points, 54.7% passing and a plus 27. Moreau, X891 with 13 goals and 12 assists, 6.25 points per game, dude. That's fucking wild. Zomboy with 12 goals, 13 assists, 3.25 points per game this week. Stump is your left D, had a 11 points, had a plus 14 turnover differential, and a passing percentage of 83.7. Alter Ego with 9 points, turnover differential of plus 11, 80.7% passing on right D. And JX14X is your goalie in the queue this week with a 2.19 goals against average, 886, went 4-1 this week. Absolutely fantastic week, and a shame that the Mambas didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, he was a stud. He, like I said, I was watching
All
those
season.
games with my brother, and listen, they did everything they could to try and get in. Fell just short, but Jay was a big part of it, man. I watched those games. This wasn't a layup week for him.
No.
Like that 219 and 866, it wasn't a cheap one. I'm telling you, he earned every bit of that, and he played his ass off, and gave his team a chance to get in. Unfortunately, they came up just short, but that's a great week out of him. I'm assuming that's a line there on the Goonie Tunes, which that's pretty scary. I mean,
Yeah.
Feeney, he's a buddy of mine. He's probably the weak link on that line. We'll talk serious here. And Maralt is a stud. He was up in the C last year. He's an LG guy. He's a really good player. Zomboy is another name that this is the first time you've seen him in the queue, and I'm not sure he'll be there again next year. He's usually a CL guy, and he's fantastic. Availability sometimes gets the best of him, but you could see what this line's going to do. That's going to be tough. So I didn't know they had this type of line, but that's going to give a lot of teams problems, and you can see it this week. I mean, look at those numbers on the forward side. It's almost not realistic. And defensively, great job by those boys. Breakout passes must have been good, both over 80%. Turnover differential, good. That's going to lead to wins. So all solid numbers here out of the players of the week. Well
Just
deserved.
to point this out, since Eagle brought it up, Feeney actually led this team in points this season. He ended up having 122 points.
Damn.
He was the leading scorer, 3.7 points per game. Zomboy was second with 92 to finish the season off, and then Moreau at 86. So you are correct. This is a line. For Moreau to play 4 games and have that many points is mental.
How the hell is Feeney leading the league in what's going on here?
No,
Who's
the
down
Goonie
there?
Tunes. It's
Yeah,
the
he
Goonie
led
Tunes.
his team.
He's
Yeah.
the leading scorer for the Goonie Tunes.
My God.
He had 87
Good for you.
assists, which would have put him second on the team in points assists alone.
Jeez.
Wow. Well
That's
done, Feeney.
wild.
Well done. I take it back. You just went from like a 2 in my book to like a 4.
Damn.
Feeney knows I kid, bro. That's my
No.
golf buddy.
Dude.
He's a good dude.
No,
But good for
Feeney's-
him. Good for
Feeney's
them.
awesome.
Goonie Tunes locked into the 3rd place, so these boys are playoff ready, and it looks like they're in playoff mode already. So that's gonna be a tough task.
These boys here actually, they had the best overall defensive team in the league. They were the only team in all of the QL that had less than 200 goals against. They had 181 goals against. So not only are they really offensive, they're extremely defensive as well.
So yeah, a strong and you know what, defense wins championships. Let's not if they can play that solid lockdown D, man, they can really do an awful lot. Really quickly, just want to hit Drail J with the follow. Thank you very much. We appreciate those follows. Make sure that if you haven't already, hit that follow button. You can subscribe. You can tell me to go fuck myself. Whatever you want to do right here in the Chalk Zone.
I gotta behave if Dreidel's in here. It's my boss.
Uh-oh.
I could just come up to your house and tell you to go fuck yourself. I live like 40 minutes away from you.
That's true. Yeah, you can totally come and tell me. Fine. There's Boston Sniper telling me to fuck off. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. So your players of the week for the C League. Gustav taking center. at 17 points, 50.3% face-off, and a +7 this week. X Cujo, thank you very much for the follow. JC Penn's 22 with 12 goals, 5 assists, 3.4 points per game is your left wing. Persinger from the Hawks, I've seen this guy's name an awful lot this season. 9 goals, 8 assists, 4.25 points per game. Luai P is your left defenseman with 11 points, a +15 turnover differential, and a 75.8 passing percentage. Mr. Janik is the right D with 7 points, a +7 turnover differential, and 79% passing. And Viper once again ending up as the goalie of the week here in the C League. 0.95 goals against, a save percentage of .934. It was 3-1 with 2 shutouts this week. Unfucking real.
Yeah, those numbers are absolutely silly. That's a fantastic week. I don't care. I don't know how many shots against he had, but whatever the case may be, if you're going to put up 95% save percentage and a .934, I mean, .934 save percentage and less than a goal a game, and you got 2 shutouts, he did his job and some, so good on him. Lou would have been an AO6 member if we didn't have that unfortunate reversal quitting whole scandal thing, so the 75%, you would like to see that a little higher, but what's that?
Yeah, no, these guys are right. So they did the Q League. They never did the C League stats. I apologize, guys. This is last week's. I'm taking a look. This is last week's.
Yeah, that's above my pay grade.
Oh, boy. I apologize, boys. I thought everything was taken care of. I apologize profusely. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to.
I bet Viper doesn't mind it. Let it stay, man. Viper had himself 2 weeks like that.
Yeah,
God
Viper.
bless.
Viper just.
I'm looking at the standings, and and this is just since it hasn't been done in the season, I would give the whole player of the weeks to the entire Reapers team this week. They were all over the place all season.
Yeah.
They ended up tying. Like they were right behind in the standings. They went 7-1 this week.
Wow.
So I think just for this 1 week, I would give it to them as a whole team.
There you go, Reapers. Reapers getting some love. Make sure you give the Reapers some love in the chat. Those boys are, they did have a great fucking week this week.
They're going from last place to all the way up to basically almost making the playoffs.
I mean, look at the names you got up there, though. I mean, I don't know why this chat is so informed. What do you go out there and recruit these people? Like, since when are they paying attention so closely? There's good names on the board. Just let it go, man. Like, is it that crazy that Goose, Pens, and Persinger are the players of the week? Like, I mean, my God, these guys are taking notes on your show. Who knew? I usually just go in there and talk shit in the chat. I don't even pay attention to
these guys notice everything. They notice everything. Like, without a doubt, they notice everything, and I fucking love it.
Good on them.
I absolutely love you guys so much. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do
TJ's saying, listen, Dreidel's saying, hold on. He's saying AO6 needs to be player of the week every position. So we're gonna go with that. Forget about Nucks. Don't worry about what he said. Reapers are out of the playoffs. Doesn't matter. Good job. Almost made it. They actually did close real strong, so good on them. They made it really close, and it's, I know my boy Sweet D Willie did some work over there, so it was close. It was close. They almost snuck in.
EAGLEEE, it's amazing to me because when me and you were messaging about you being on this show, I was like, I'm looking to create a little bit of drama and maybe some, maybe some disagreement, and you were like, oh, I could totally fucking get that for you, and there you go. Like, fuck the Reapers. No, AO6. Like, what are you gonna do?
Dude, I'm like a tornado. I come in here, I wreck some shit, and then you don't see me for like 6 months, so I'm good.
Before you go over this good, bad, and ugly, we can give it to AO6. JC Pens, 21 goals, 7 assists, 28 points. Dreidel, 24 assists. ZE2, 11 goals, 9 assists. So Eagle is right on that in the sense of them getting it.
I know Coda had a hell of a week too.
Yeah. And then D, we can go with I Marner, and then we can give the next one to CJ. Sorry, not CJ because he played center. You can give it to Gilgamesh with 9 assists.
Damn. Dude, that's such a good fucking team. Just absolutely fantastic. So, boys, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the good, bad, and the ugly, and then we will cut straight over to the playoff matchups. Like I said, I don't know what's done and what's not done, but here's the thing. You guys can take a look at the stats yourself. Where it's really going to matter is when we get to the award show. And I'll try and go through everything tomorrow. And, you know, if you're watching the games, I'll try and do a quick little catch up that way. As for your final leaders, I apologize, guys. I don't know what got done and what didn't get done.
Work, TJ. You said he's joining you. Put Graves to work. He'll get on it. He'll do the stats. He'll do your thing.
Yeah, Graves, if you're out there, fucking get to work, bud. The fuck?
Get involved. Get the pad out. Get the pen out. Start researching. Get the monitors up. Let's go.
Yeah, slacking. Fucking slacking. Yeah, so my good, bad, and ugly for this week, I know it's done because I did it. I do this myself every week. I crunch the numbers. I go through everything. And your week 8, TJ's good, bad, and the ugly for week number 8. Your full negative for this week is Schizo from the Outlaws, and 5 games played was a minus 28. Buddy. Maybe a good thing that they're done. As for the turnover specialist, Shelf 95 from the Raging Bulls in 5 games played was a negative 64 turnover differential. That's tough. That's a little tough. I love Shelfie, but yeah, buddy, not good, man.
Terrible. That's terrible. What
Yeah.
are we talking about? That's awful. Yikes, Shelf. He might have to go back in net, man. I like Shelf too, but minus 64, dude. You can't have those type of giveaways if you're not scoring. Like everyone, you know. Listen, we talk about it. Like the people who are on the top of the list of giveaways every year, they're generally the best players in the league. So like you don't mind when Gustav and CJ and Slim and all these guys have all these giveaways because you get the production out of them. But if you're Shelf, I'm not sure the production's there where you have the ability to go out there and go minus 64 and then to play yourself 5 games. That's rough. That's rough, Shelf.
That's 13 giveaways a game with no interceptions and no takeaways.
Well, listen, minus, I mean, he's going to go out there and play some golf now. They're out of the playoffs. He's out there shooting minus 64.
No, he's not.
That's pretty good.
No, he's actually in the play-in. He's actually in the play-in against the Ice Cartel tonight.
Oh, my God.
He might not be on the ice with those numbers, though.
Oh, my God, dude. Red Daddy in the chat, when your plus minus is worse than the temperature in the territories, that's not good. Yeah, dude, you're 100% right. And Chuck Morrissey Awards show, that'll be at the end of the season. As soon as the season is completed, we'll be setting up the awards show, and I'll be doing that and looking forward to getting into all of that with each and every one of you. As for the passing failure this week, it's Pootsies from the Silverbacks. 4 games played, 50% passing on 64 attempts. Bro, that is fucking rough. That is super, super rough. Stump Isles, Petite Autobus, Cujo, thank you very much for the follows. The sin bin this week goes to, and again, I could have made it if that fucking cockstain Slotty had given me the fucking fight that I wanted. I would have been at 22 fucking points, and in my 4 games, I would have been, at 22 penalty minutes. But no, instead it's Shady Rap God from Prestige Worldwide with 20 fucking penalty minutes in 5 games, and I'm sitting here like a fucking chump. I could have been on the board. Okay?
Yeah, you made this graphic, right?
Yeah, I did.
There's nothing wrong with lying a little bit, dude. You should have just put yourself there.
I could have.
This audience is good. I don't know if they would have picked up on that one though. You know, sometimes you gotta fudge some stuff.
I could have, but dude, I'd feel, as a good Christian boy, dude, I'd feel it deep down, you know. And
I got you. You didn't want that coming back around.
I don't want that guilt. I don't want that guilt. As for the hit parade this week, once again, UCG Orion finds himself right here from the Moose. In 4 games played, had 62 hits, but this time around, he wasn't giving a shit about the penalties. I'm assuming he had a couple fights too, because 16 penalty minutes this week, along with those 62 hits. Normally, we're only seeing him at about 2 to 4 penalty minutes. A couple weeks it was 0, but he's usually here, and he has made it again. Your big blocker for this week, Morpheus, 21 from Guerrilla Warfare, and Isles from the Muppet Slayers, both sharing this one. In 4 games played, had 12 blocked shots apiece. Circle King is Bats from Prestige Worldwide. In 3 games played, was a 61.8% passing on 89 attempts. Dude, when you're getting up close to 100 attempts and you're still at over 60%, dude, that is a phenomenal week.
That's my guy, Bats, man. New York guy. We love our New York guys here. Yeah. That's just a phenomenal job. 62% on the dot. And like you said, it wasn't after a game. It was after 3 games, and it looks like a pretty busy game. You know, you got almost 30 faceoffs a game right there as an average. So that's a great job by Bats, and that's going to lead to W's. And listen, if you're a team like Prestige where you dominate the momentum in the game with the hitting and the physical aspect of it, if you're winning draws on top of that and keeping possession, that's just a recipe for success. So,
Yeah.
if he's going to continue winning in the dot like that, that's just going to be a tremendous thing that helps them, lead to some success and win. So, good job by Bats.
100%. And then finally, our the last three here. Our public skate for this week in the Q League is Derby Goat 709 from the Outlaws. In 4 games played, had 0 points, no goals, no assists, no nothing. 0 points, was a -25, but managed to put up 18 penalty minutes. So doing nothing to help your team, but getting all the fucking penalty minutes that you can. Dude, come on, man. Like, he's out there, like, just fucking skating around, enjoying himself. I get it, but, like, dude, you do better. Do better, Senator.
I remember seeing Derby Goat in the NHL chat telling owners to sign him because he can bring them a championship. How do you expect to be the defensive version of Brady Tkachuk and have more penalty minutes than him and an even worse freaking minus?
Yeah, and no points. 0.00. Fucking goose egg. Your Stay Greedy for this week, dude, and I couldn't believe it when I saw this. So, Brand Flakes from the Legion of Doom. 4 games played, had 15 goals, only 3 assists. That guy's R2 button is broken. And but a +9 for this week. And finally, like, I hate to say it, dude, by the 3rd game, I don't really think anybody was trying, including Carey. He sounded pretty tossed. For the Nightfall, through 4 games played, had a .695 save percentage, 8.14 goals against, 32 goals against on 105 shots, going over 4 this week. Carey M, I fucking love you, buddy. Hopefully we can have a better season next year, buddy.
Dude, I would have loved to have been in that party. I love Carey, know him for years. He was hysterical. I can only imagine what he was screaming or what was happening in there. He wasn't?
He was so baked. He was good the whole fucking time, dude. He was taking it like a fucking champ.
I would not have bet on that. I would have thought there were even in some self-deprecation, but I would have.
Oh no, there was some self-deprecation, but it was funny as shit.
Turned way up with Carey.
There had to have been a "fuck you" meter every time there was breakaways, because anytime I played against him or with him, he always goes for the diving poke check and yells "fuck you," and then the skater just skates around and scores. So it's on him if he's saying "fuck you" every 2 seconds for breakaways, but that's on the defense and the team around.
There wasn't a lot of breakaways. I will say that there definitely wasn't a lot of breakaways. It was just it was just some collapses. I'm not gonna lie, guys going for hits when they shouldn't have been. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into specifics, but no, like dude was keeping himself pretty good. I think he was a little stoned. He was having a good fucking time.
Good for him.
Your C League. Good, bad, and ugly for week 8. Your full negative for this week. It's 3 guys from the Legends. Suspect, QC, RZ, and Schneebs, all from the Legends. And through 5 games played, were all a -19 this week. Turnover specialist, and this one I was a little bit surprised about. Shorey season from the Panthers. Through 5 games played, had a -50 turnover differential. Now, he did have an awful lot of points and had an awful lot of hits. I think a lot of that is the cross creases, but still a -50 to the differential, man. Like, maybe pass to the point every once in a while. I don't know. Am I crazy here?
It's most certainly the cross creases, but again, the difference between Shorzy season and Shelf is you could live with it on Shorzy's part because he probably had a tremendous week anyway. They moved into 2nd place.
Yeah.
This guy's one of the best players in the league. So I guarantee he doesn't really give a shit how many giveaways he has because they're winning games. He's scoring goals. He's getting apples. He's doing his job out there. So I got no problem with this. Whatever.
Absolutely.
He's a winger. He's a winger and he plays some center. Like, he's not a D-man. Who cares about his turnovers? Doesn't mean shit.
Yeah. No, and that's what I mean. It's those cross creases for sure. Passing failure for this week, it's Charts from the Kings, a 52.2% on 113 pass attempts. That is awfully rough.
Guy Charts, man. It's my guy.
Yeah.
You know what? He doesn't want to pass to anyone else. Charts is the man, dude. Charts is awesome. I wouldn't pass to anyone either. He's probably throwing it off the boards to himself, and maybe the other team gets it. So those numbers may be off, dude.
If Charts is playing with double bra, I could see why the percentage is there. Because if he gives it to double bra is just going to freaking drop pass it to himself, get smoked, and then it's going to be a 2-on-1.
Yeah.
My guy, the
so I could see. Yeah, I can see why Charts does not want to care about his passing percentage. He's going to throw the passes, and puck goes in, puck doesn't. He's trying at least.
That's it. Sin bin for this week. Vintage Trav from the Kraken through 4 games played, had 8 penalty minutes. Dude, not a lot of penalties over in the C this week. It was interesting. This is an awful lot lower than we've seen any other week. Hit parade, as I mentioned, Shorey season there as well from the Panthers through 5 games played, had 62 hits and only 2 minutes in penalties, dude. Like, that is fucking phenomenal. Jay Whips as well from the Omaha Mavericks through 5 games played is our big blocker with 13 blocked shots in those 5 games. Dude, like, is taking rubber off. It doesn't matter, off the leg, off the arm, off the face, off the chest. It doesn't matter. He's getting in the way of those pucks. Your Circle King, and again, this is another one. So it's STL Bleak, or St. Louis Bleak from the Reapers. Through 3 games played, 63.9% on 83 attempts. Again, just absolutely fantastic, right? Again, you're looking close to 30 face-offs per game, and still staying at over 60%. Just absolutely fantastic. Your Public Skate, Grizz, through 4 games played, 0 points, 0 penalty minutes, managed to be a +2 somehow, but didn't contribute anything. Nothing. Like, what are you doing, man? He's out there, like, signing sticks for the refs, trying to get himself some better calls, I guess. Maybe that's what he was doing. Your Stay Greedy, Semple 10 from the Dusters through 5 games played, 13 goals and 2 assists. Again, another guy with a broken R2 button, but fuck, I love Semple. He's so much fun. And finally, your Swiss cheese for this week, and I feel really bad about this one. Zurion TTV from the Dusters. 4 games played was a 726, 5.75 goals against, goals against average, 23 goals against on 84 shots, going 0 for 4 this week.
Yeah, I think they did enough, though, to get in. Nux could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they did enough to get in the 7 spot there. So that's impressive, because you have a week like that, you almost cost your team the season there. And I'm sure it's mostly on the defense anyway. As a goaltender, it's never our fault. It's usually on the defense, man. I will say that Grizz, I mean, listen, he doesn't have to get any points. They don't pass to the D-men on those teams. I've been involved in some of those games. The forwards are so good. Like, the defense, they're not even on the ice in the offensive zone. They don't get the puck. They don't get looked at. They're not touching the puck there. And rightfully so, I guess, because I guess I'd rather have the puck in Poolsy or Shoresy's hands or Carm's, but they're not using the defense there, so he's not going to get any points. The only way he's getting a point is if he somehow takes a slap shot and it hits somebody and then they put it in. So he's not getting any points over there, but that's fine.
I think somebody may have said something. Double Broad just jumped in the chat. Did I just get shit talked? You may have.
Not by me, Double. Not by me, Toppy. I love you, Toppy.
You may have. You'll have to watch the replay later on. All VODs are obviously.
I'll comment on the Dusters. So they ended up they did make it to the play-in. They did have a really rough week. I'm not going to say you can put it all on Zurion, because they, outside of Zurion having the 4 losses, they only went 2-1-1.
Yeah.
With the other line. So that was probably where Semple played. If Semple ended up playing with Zurion's line, they probably would have had a different outcome.
Absolutely.
Because of the amount of goals he scored. So they snuck in, and just like the Reapers, they actually had an overtime loss.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they qualified. If they ended up losing that game in regulation, the Reapers actually make the playoffs. So who knows if one of those games played by Zurion was an overtime loss, or it could have been the other line.
Yeah.
Either way, he'll be able to figure it out and produce in the playoffs.
Absolutely. We are going to jump right on over to our playoff previews here, guys. Again, I don't know exactly what was done through the C League and the Q League stats. I will try and make sure that everything is done with those tomorrow, and I will go over those. I promise you that. I'll even start a little bit earlier tomorrow so we can make sure that we go through that. So, looking at our very first matchup in the C League. It is AO6 versus the Kraken in the first round, obviously. You already kind of hit this one on the head, Eagly. Record between the teams. So AO6 going 4-1 in the season series against the Kraken. Goals for right up. Kraken know how to score at 323 goals against. AO6 knows how to keep them out at 222. What do you think the difference maker is going to be in this one?
It's going to be really tough, man. Like I said, it's not your traditional 1 versus 8 matchup. they have a top line that can compete with anyone on the Kraken. When you're looking at Big Gav, Isles, and then Pigeon, Tank Cal on the back end, like they're more than ready for this. Yames has been playing some great defense for them. They got some goaltending in Cujo, a buddy of mine. So they're going to get tested for sure. But this is the type of team that when it starts going, it can get ugly quick and it can get out of hand quick. I mean, we just lost to them last week and it wasn't close. It started out close, and then all of a sudden you got a breakaway goal and then a penalty shot and then an EA goal, and this thing could get away quick. So if you don't compose yourself and stay in it, there's a lot of talent on that team, and they could score goals with the best of them. And as you can see, 323 goals for. Like, you're going to have to play some defense, and you're going to have to, keep an eye on some of these guys. They like to leak out. They're a fast-paced team. Isles is as good as anyone at playing 200-foot center, so it's going to be a really tough matchup. I mean, I do know on our side, you got one of the best goaltenders, if not the best goaltender in the league in Coda. The defense has been solid. The forwards are absolutely great. There is no first line, second line. Like, both lines could beat any team on any night. So I'm really pumped up about it. I'm expecting a really competitive series, but prediction-wise, I'm going to say AO 6-5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Heard it here first.
I'll go off of this. The crazy thing about both these teams is Z2 was actually in the QL last season.
Yeah.
And he ended up being in ECU in the playoffs last season for the Panthers, and that really helped them out. For him to go from being in the QL to leading his team this season is amazing. And then he had Big Gav as a rookie coming in, led the Kraken. And I don't know if you guys saw that video that was posted of WW of Tank Cal skating around with his arms open like he's Jesus. Yeah. If any of that happens in the playoffs, Kraken are done.
Yeah.
Z2's a stud, dude. And you know what? Just real quick, good on Dreidel, man. He dealt with some adversity with obviously losing BC Bud. He had to pick up the pieces. He had to bring in new players. You're talking about Bud. Say what you want about the guy, but he's one of the top defensemen in the league, and he knows how to run a team. So when you lose a guy like that right before the playoffs are about to start, you're definitely going through some panic moments of how we're going to fill that spot. And it's been a seamless transition. The vibes have been positive in the locker room. Draidel's done a great job, man, of keeping everybody ready to go, changing lines, doing whatever he's got to do to put the best line out there to try and win some hockey games. So good by Dreidel. And like I said, this team is filled with studs. So I expect a cup. It's cup or bust. So, and the Kraken's going to be tough, but we'll be ready for him.
I was curious to know. So I'll ask you, TJ, and you, Eagle. So TJ, who do you think out of those players that are not key players would be the X factor that's not included on that list for the 06?
Eagle.
Hey, that's a great pick, man.
And then
dude,
for you, the Kraken.
Go ahead, Eagle.
Listen, I think the key player for the Kraken that's not on there, I think it's going to be Isles. I think they go as Isles goes. So I think if he has himself the series he's capable of having, it's going to be extremely tough. He's very defensive at center, and he can create as good as anybody in the league. So if he's playing at the top of his game, which I fully expect, he's going to be tough. And on our side, I think you can name so many people. You can name Penn, Dreidel. You can name there's a ton of people you can name. So I will say I'm going to go with Boother. Okay, T. Bush. He's the center on Z2's line. I think he plays such a complete game.
Yes.
I have not had the pleasure of playing with him before I joined the team. I was so impressed with how great he is defensively. He wins a ton of faceoffs, but he's always in the right spot. And as a goaltender, I'm selfish, man. I'm staring at that stuff. These guys could score goals. I'm fine with that. But he prevents so many high-risk plays just by being in the right spot and getting back. And I'm really impressed with that guy. So if he goes out there and he has himself a good series, I think that's just going to take the pressure off Dreidel, Pens, and all those top dogs. And I think it's going to be really good.
No, I agree. And like it may have sounded like I was joking, but here's the reason why I said what I said, Nux. To me, this matchup is really going to come down to goaltending, right? You have a high octane scoring team in the Kraken up against, a team that obviously can score, but is very, very strong defensively in AO6. This is going to be a goaltending battle. And, those games 4 or 5, with having to bring in the second goalie, how is that going to play out? In the end, I'd love to see an upset here. Sorry, Eagle, but no, it's not going to happen. I have AO6 in 6.
Yeah, I have AO6 and 6 as well.
All right, so everybody's got AO6 on that one. Let's move on to our next matchup. It is the Panthers versus the Dusters. These teams actually, it's funny. The Dusters winning the season matchup here, 3-2. But obviously the Panthers, as we saw in the last couple of weeks, the scoring they moved up in the standings. That scoring, that defense. You got Shorey, you got Viper, dude. This Panthers team is dangerous.
Yeah, you want to take it off, Nux? This is your team. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like I've mentioned every time that they've been on here. Like I was drafted by them, and they traded me. They ended up making the moves that they felt was going to be successful for the future of the team.
Yep.
Totally respected them for making the moves, and they got Miss Hudson, somebody that was drafted pretty late in the draft and has one of the best plus minuses in the entire league. And then you have Viper as well, an insane goalie. And then Shorey and Pooley, amazing management. Duster's side, they ended up picking up Slim in a trade. Kuzando ended up getting saved from the Violent Gentleman, being able to go to the playoffs. And then you have Trex, who is an absolute stud. I see this series going 7, even though with the high caliber offense of the Panthers, the way Jeeves knows how to run a team and having Rusty as well, it's going to be a very tight, tough matchup. Same as the 1 versus 8 seed. This is going to be a hell of a series as well.
I think so. Actually, EAGLEEE, you go first.
It just shows you, man, not to beat a dead horse, but this is the 2 versus 7, and you expect to see a tremendous edge for the second place team, but I don't see it, man. I know the top line is as good as it gets, man. Carm, Shoresy, Poolsy, that's tough, especially with defense like Miss Hudson and Captain Canada, and then you got Viper in net. Where's the weakness? The answer is there isn't one. So you're gonna have to get a little lucky. You're gonna have to play some really good hockey, and you're going to have to play some playoff hockey where it's going to be tight, and you're going to have to hold these guys down because you don't want to have to go out there and score 5 goals to win a game. And if you blink, they could have 5 goals. That's how good this team is offensively. Yeah. So I do think, though, don't sleep on the Dusters, like Nux said. So you got Slim, you have Rejects, you have so many, you have Jeeves, you have so many talented players. Rusty on the back end. Like, this is a very, very good team, and Slim is as good as anybody at the center position.
Yeah.
And if you give him Rejects and you give him Semple on either side, like that's a really good line. So you're going to struggle to find a better Game 7 line, and I think they can compete, but I do think with the second line of the Panthers having guys like Deacon and Rolla, like that's a tough task, man. I'm going to give it to the Panthers here, and I'm going to give it to them in 6 because I do think it's going to be a really good series.
Yeah.
But I think they get the nod in the goaltending aspect a little bit, and I just think they're too complete of a roster. And listen, they're the champs, so until somebody beats them, I got to give them the nod. But I expect Rejects to be a really good standout player in this, and he's not named there, but he's going to be a problem for anyone that's trying to cover him on left D.
Oh, absolutely.
Go ahead. You go.
Oh, no, Nux. I was actually going to ask you, like, what do you have for this one? Who do you think?
I do have the Panthers in 7, but the only way I see the Dusters winning this series is as a complete team concept. They have the edge, and I hate to say it, over every single team that's in the playoffs when it comes to defense.
Yeah.
Every player on their defensive line could be a number 1 or number 2 on almost any of the teams in the entire CL.
Yeah.
So that's where Jeeves and Rusty come in. Jeeves having the experience of being an owner before, locking down Rusty for management, and then you're able to add 3 other players that can be the same kind of caliber player.
Yeah.
That's the way I see the Dusters taking this series is the defense. If they're able to stabilize and win maybe 1-2 games with Shorey and Poolsy, it's going to be a tough time for the Panthers to be able to come back and recover from that series if they lose 2 with that line.
No, absolutely. And that's why, like, you just hit the nail on the head. You took exactly what I was going to say, the words right out of my mouth. I think this is probably going to be the closest series, and if we're going to see a major upset, I think this is the one where we're going to see it. Right now, yes, I have to give, Panthers the edge in this one. I agree with both of you. I think that this one is going to, I think, Nux, I think you said 7 on this one. And Eagle, you said 6. I'm saying 7 on this one too. I think this one is going to go back and forth. I think if the Dusters can play a complete Team D game, as we know they are capable of doing, I think that's how they can take this series. I'm going to be watching this one very, very closely as it goes. I think this is probably the best matchup that the Panthers could find for themselves. Our next matchup, it's the Hawks and Jurassic Puck. Dude, Persinger, Estex, and Buford for the Hawks, man. These guys, like, we've just seen their names again and again and again all over that fucking leaderboard. But you know, don't count out, you know, Run Like Hell, Mr. Janet, Call Me Skull, another guy that was actually supposed to be here tonight, K Rice. I think this is another good series. Obviously, Hawks, you know, taking the season series 4-1. Hawks with the edge in goals for, but the goals against, you know, the better goals against going to Jurassic Puck. Eagle.
Yeah, I mean, hat off to Skull. He's had himself a great year, and he's a big part of why you see that goals for so low. And I think they have a really good team with CJ and Agar on the back end. Listen, I just think they're outmatched here, if I'm being honest. I think the Hawks with Persinger, White Tees, it's just too deadly, man. Like, I've played against these guys. I've played with them. It's just a goaltending nightmare, especially with Estex back there. And these guys have so much chem. They've played so many games. Buford, we've talked about it. I mean, that's my buddy Al. He could be as good as anybody. And, you know, come playoff time, I expect him to do his thing. I just think the Hawks are too big of a task here. I don't see it being that close, if I'm being honest. Kate's a great player. They have some players that could do some things, but if I'm being honest, I think the Hawks take it in 5. And it may even be a sweep. That's my opinion. I love Agar, love Skull, love all those guys. I could see Skull stealing a game or two.
Yeah.
But I personally just think they're outmatched, if I'm being honest.
Nux?
I'm not really going to comment on the Hawks because I'm on that team. I'm happy to be there. I was very surprised when it ended up getting traded. I did ask Devin afterwards. I said, "Did you know that I've played with Purse before?" He had no idea. So for me, that's value in itself that I've had chemistry with him before.
Yeah.
And then I'm being able to get Buford. Buford's an absolute stud. Eagles can probably comment on Buford as a goalie more because he's buddies with him in the sense of that concept and playing the goaltending position.
He's awesome.
It's going to be a tight series. Like Eagle could say it's going to be 4.
Yeah.
I know if I'm playing with that line, I already know they're going to attack me as the considered weak link compared to Dex on the right side. But it's competitive. The way the bounces can sometimes go, even if you're playing your ass off.
Yeah.
You could throw the season series out the window for this playoff matchup because it's all about avail and it's all about what lines are going out. And I'm thankful that we finished ahead of them so we can actually see that we can line match them a little better than they can with us.
Yeah, for me, you're 100% right, man. Like the Hawks are just so good. And we've seen them so consistent and so steady all season. You know, Purse and Estex, as I mentioned. Just, again, there's so many good guys on that side. I think this might be just a little too much for Jurassic. You know, I'm really hoping that they can steal a couple games here. But, yeah, man, I got Hawks in 5. So that's kind of where it lands for me right now. As we move on to our final matchup there, it's AGL Thunder versus the Kings, and I think again this is another one. So season series split 2-2, edge in both goals for and against, obviously going to the Thunder, but the Kings can certainly make some noise. Eagle.
Yeah, it's so close. Look at those numbers. I mean, they squeak out by 7-1, by 1 and another. So, and it's a 2-2 series throughout the year. Their numbers are close. I think they did a great job in the draft, the Thunder, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They put themselves a solid team together. I think Ghost and Devin did a decent job in the draft, but as you can see with the transactions they made, they weren't that happy with it. So they made a ton of moves to improve the team, and I think they did that. So I love Trill the Thrill. I know you got Big for Life in that also.
Yeah.
I think Gustav could take over a game for sure, and I think put Ghost on the ice with him, and that's a problem. 100%. Devin's solid on D. Ranger's been playing great. Shout out to Ranger. He does a ton of shit. He does everything. So, you know, Sometimes maybe even too much he does, but we'll
Yeah.
leave that alone. I love Ranger. He's a good dude, and he's
Yes.
playing some great hockey. So
Yeah.
I do think, though, the Thunder, when you look at them on paper, you got Bloody and Net, one of the best goaltenders there. Frosty Nightmare is a rookie, and this kid is an absolute problem out there. Okay, he is as tough a cover as you're gonna get. Mahomey is a problem out there. Spawn's a problem. The Striker is a problem. They're all a problem. So I just think AGL has a lot to offer, and I think they're the deeper team for sure.
Yeah.
I do think both top lines are as good as any gets, but I do think I would probably give the nod to the Thunder here, only because I think they play a better brand of hockey. I think the Kings go as far as Goose takes them.
Yeah.
You know, he's a puck dominant guy, and if his game's on and he's working people, you know, they're going to be tough to stop, and I expect his line to win a couple games. I don't know if the second line's going to go out there and do that with the depth that the Thunder has. So I could see this
Fair.
one going 6 or 7. I'm just going to give the nod to the Thunder based on the depth. I think the first line versus first line, anyone could win. I could see the Kings winning this series. I definitely can.
Yeah.
But I think the second line here is going to dominate, and I think the Thunder take it in 6 if I had to really put my name on it.
And you, Nux?
Yeah, so this is another tough series to really evaluate because the goals against, the goals for, it's very, very similar. It's like
Yes.
one game difference in goals and one game difference in goals against. So like I'm gonna give it to the Thunder because of the fact that they have Bloody, and that's no disrespect to Big for Life or Trill. I just Bloody is a game breaker. Like out of every player that's on this list, Bloody is that guy. He can take over a series. He can win you 3 straight games.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to worry about whatever happens the next 2 or whatever, because if it goes to a 7, you throw Bloody in that.
Yeah.
Your chances are very, very high. I see this going 6, and it would depend on the line matchups. Like Eagle said, first line straight across the board.
Yeah.
It's a wash. But then that second line,
line.
it depends on who the defensive matchups are for both lines. That's going to be the big aspect. Frosty's an unbelievable rookie. The amount of rookies that I'm seeing on these playoff matchups just showing the growth of the league. But I am going to go Thunder in 6, and I actually see that game 6. I see them winning at 6-1.
Ooh, even making a bold prediction on the actual score of the game.
Because that's my former owner, and if Devin's in that game and he gets eliminated 6-1, I get to chirp him a little bit for trading me.
You know what? I'm probably going to take some shit for this. And you know what? I will take it. If I have to eat it, I'm going to eat it. I take a look at the season series. I take a look at the games that I watched between these guys throughout this season. Guys, I'm giving the edge to the Kings here. I think the Kings take it in 7. Yes, obviously a better second line there for the Thunder, but I think that defensively, this Kings team has the ability, with the right matchups to shut shit down. And I'm definitely I'm riding with the Kings here. Kings in 7 on this one.
I mean, listen, that would not surprise me one bit.
Yeah.
I think this is the hardest series to predict, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think this one's really tough, and if you told me one team went out and won it in 5 either way, I wouldn't be surprised. Like they're both really good, so it just really depends on game script and how it goes. But most certainly either team can win that series for sure.
So these are the play-in matchups, right? So we got going on right now. Really quickly, we obviously got the Raging Bulls and the oh my goodness, why am I gapping out here? Raging Bulls and the Ice Cartel going right now. We got the Apaches and the Almost Somebodies who are going at it. They are running the play-in games. So as we take a quick look, we don't know yet who the Prestige Worldwide will be playing. Same thing with Legion of Doom. Not sure exactly who it is that they're going to be playing. So we can take a look at the last 2 matchups here. Don't worry for all of you that are here from the for LMS. I apologize. We'll be wrapping up shortly, and I will be getting right to the draft over there. I want to thank you all very much for coming in and all the follows. I'll get to those in a second.
I hate to interrupt you really, really quick before we start this. One of the playoff play-in matchups, it's 2-2 in
Oh.
OT right now with the Apaches.
Damn. So that's the Apaches and
So-
almost somebody's right now.
Yes.
I think just to keep it moving in an aspect, I think I'm going to get just no matter who makes it,
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
don't see either one of these play-in victor teams
Yeah.
going out there and being able to knock off either Legion of Doom or Prestige World. But I think they're both just way too much for no matter who sneaks in. Good for them if they make it. I
Yeah.
just think they're walking into a real bad storm.
Dude, I think underrated that fucking Apache team, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. There's something about those guys. They have found a rhythm. They have found a gel together. I really like them. And I'm hoping for them.
Listen, we love underdogs.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
So
And the Apaches just won game 1.
there we go.
They won it.
So looking forward to it. We'll find out tomorrow night, boys and girls. As we take a look.
He knows his shit, dude.
Yeah.
He knows his shit.
As we take a look at the first matchup, we got Goonie Tunes versus the Glitter Trotters. Glitter Trotters winning the season series here. Goals against, obviously, Goonie Tunes taking that one. Glitter Trotters taking the goals for. Look, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go flat out and say it. You know, Logie, Wax, Omar, all the boys over there. Logie, man, Tunes in fucking 4, man.
Wow. Is that Ogre's team? That's Ogre's team?
That's
No,
Ogre's team.
Oh, yeah. Is Ogre there?
Overwhelming?
Yes,
Yeah, right?
yes.
Okay, well, listen, Glitter Trotters, make sure you show up on time. Make sure everyone's got the right builds, because if I know my man Ogre, he'll hit you with that sussy real quick. So I think it's going to be a good series. Omar's a stud, man. Look at both goaltenders. The Birdman's a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
Both having good years, really, really solid years.
Oh,
They're both
fantastic.
more than capable. But I would say we just saw the players of the week, and whether that was this week, last week, I can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Those 3 players that were just on there are not even on the key players list, which tells you how much depth they have.
Yep.
So I think the Goonie Tunes are probably the more talented team. I know Kyle Parks, if they have CGO over there, I assume those guys play together a ton. They're going to definitely put up a fight, but I'm going to go Goonie Tunes in 5, just because I think Birdman will steal one.
Let's go. Yeah, like I said, man, that's mine. I got him in 4. What about you, Nux?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Goody Tunes in 4. The biggest reason is you saw the players of the week. Yes, they have the offense, but I mentioned earlier in the show that they were the only team that had under 200 goals against. And they have the two of the top 5 goalies in all of the QL.
Yep.
With GAA wise.
Yep.
You have Omar at 2.75, and you have Glamette at 2.92. That's unheard of for any team, like having at least one goalie.
Yeah.
Under 3 goals against, but having 2, that's just unheard of. And then you do have Logie has the experience, and then you have Ogre who has the experience. And I'm pretty sure, didn't they win it last year, or who won it last year in the QL?
Was it? Yeah, I think it was the Tunes, wasn't it? No. Is it Prestige?
No, I think it was the Goonie Tunes.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
think
Goonie.
Steve
Yeah,
Grant.
it was
Yeah, I think it
Tunes.
was Goonie.
And then they had the Beatles style breakup, which created Legion of Doom.
There you go.
Yeah, no, they actually won 4-1 last year. Yes.
Yeah. Like, you know, again, you have phenomenal goaltending, phenomenal, like, dude, great defense, 2 solid lines. Like, they are going to be a lot for any team that they come up against, dude. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Logie, get it done, baby. Get it done.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. Wish Logie was here tonight. Would love to have him along for the ride. So finally, it's the AGL Silverbacks and the Muppet Slayers. Muppet Slayers took the season series 2-1. They have the edge in goals for. Obviously, the edge in goals against going to the Silverbacks. I'm going to be honest with this one. This is another one that I think can really go either way. You got to give the advantage to the Silverbacks here, though. You know, that Pootsy's line has just been something serious all season.
Is that Heedless on that team? Is that Heedless' team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Heedless is the owner.
Heedless is having a nice year.
Yes,
I know
he
that. I
is.
looked at
Yeah.
the numbers, having a really good year. But
Yeah.
all I've been hearing about is this Parky guy. So I did a little digging on his numbers, and as you can tell, they're really, really good. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe get called up next year. I expect him to do big things in this series and really make a name for himself.
Yeah.
As you can see, he's been on the ice 27 times, and he's walked away with 21 wins. So that's real good. I know Ice Dog on the other side, he does a lot of talking in the chat. Let's see if he can earn that in this series, because I know that I know he's gonna have his hands full here.
Oh yeah.
So I think Silverbacks are probably the deeper team. When I took a quick look at their roster up and down, I know Hobson's a good player, Rose is a good player, but I just think that the Muppets they're about to get canned here, and I think Silverbacks are going to take this in 5.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Silverbacks at 4. Biggest reason is Parky. So Parky
Yeah.
was actually drafted by the Dusters in the rookie rounds, and the Dusters unfortunately had to drop him because they overdrafted rookies. So Heedless got an absolute stud in it, and the fact that no other team even considered Parky that's Heedless doing his homework, and I fault every other owner that did not touch Parky. I see him playing his 3 games. I see him picking up 2 shutouts out of those 3 games if that team plays as well as they do in front of them.
Yeah. Yeah, again, you got to give the edge obviously here to the Silverbacks. I think they're just again a really, really good team. That Pootsie's line has been absolutely fantastic. I'm going Silverbacks in 6. Boys, I think we made it.
Yep.
We made it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, dude. I appreciate you guys having me on. Listen, this is the best time of the year for AGL, so
Yeah.
playoffs are starting, play-ins are going as we speak. Another successful year, so I just want to thank all the admins while we have a chance. Ranger, Skull, Slotty,
Yeah.
all the boys that are behind the scenes doing it, the refs, down to the media team. TJ, you and the boys been doing a great job. Isles does some media stuff too. We got such a good community here, and that's the nice thing about playing in an adult league.
Yeah.
Things get done proper, and like we were talking about earlier, TJ, if you're going to do it right, and you guys
Yeah.
are definitely doing that. AGL is just growing, and it's getting better every year. So say what you want about this league. I know everyone gives everyone a hard time, but I guarantee this is the best league to play in, and I enjoy playing in it. So, and just the media coverage, everything down to the stats, to the management groups we have. Everybody pitches in, and we got ourselves a great league. So let's have a great playoffs, and appreciate you boys.
Yeah.
Yep. Each is good to have you on the show, brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate having both of you here with me, guys. None of the, and you hit it on the head there, Eagle. None of this happens without all the help from that AGL team. So make sure that you thank an AGL admin, Rangers, Isles, Barlow, like all the boys, just doing some great work. Yourself, Slotty, absolutely fantastic. It was a great season. It's going to be an even better playoffs. I will see you tomorrow night, AGL, for AGL Monday Night Hockey live right here in the Chalk Zone. Going to be going a little bit earlier than 8 o'clock so we can go over what some of the final stats were. I'll make sure that all that's taken care of before we go live tomorrow. Want to thank you all very much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. For those of you that are here for LMS, just hold on 1 second. I'm going to switch things over, and I will be right back.